Why is it guitars that you're sort of the main focus on, or thing you're really interested in?
Do you know what? I don't know, because I'm a drummer.
I played in bands. I was a drummer.
I used to be a drummer in school. I was at the mercy of the guitar players.
Well, I was a guitar player or have been a guitar player for about 35 years. I played in bands. I was a drummer to start with.
Where did you start? What age?
6.
I started tobacco and guitar the same day when I was 13.
Nice. That's around the same time I started playing guitar, when I was about 12, 13 years old.
Yeah, I was about 13 as well, I reckon, for guitar.
It's probably everybody's story.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, if you're a drummer, it kind of gets boring playing other people's songs. It's really hard to write a melodic tune on the drums. So to facilitate some kind of songwriting, you know, I had to learn an instrument. As far as building goes, YouTube, you know, I got bit. What Scott's was one of the first videos I saw, and man, I'm telling you, ever since then I have been like, it's my life at this point. You know, I love it.
Yeah. So the skills, the woodworking skills, and those creative skills, were they sort of somewhere in the background, or other hobbies or things along the way?
Well, I've done a bunch of carpentry work, you know, so I had kind of some of the tools, but I've done nothing but buy tools and wood for the past 3 years. My wife's like, please stop. But yeah, I mean, I've always been a tinkerer. I think that's something we all share with each other. You know, we like to tinker with things. And
it's a DIY mentality.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't like to ask anyone for help for anything. You know, I'll do it myself. And with the internet, you know, there's no reason why you can't learn to do anything. So that's kind of the philosophy I took. And video after video, I actually studied for an entire year. I read books. I watched a bunch of videos before I would allow myself to touch a piece of wood. And that was so advantageous for me, you know.
I know when I
ruining things.
My early days of playing the guitar, I think I was a bit like that as well. You sort of start asking yourself, I wonder how this works. And you see some screws on a guitar and you think, oh, what happens if I just take that screw out and see what happens? So I remember early on, pulling apart my first guitar, just like, I wonder what magic's inside here. You
know, more than once I've thought about the fact that as a player, I didn't understand anything about the actual guitar. It's amazing how many players have no clue of the anatomy or how it works or anything.
I agree 100% with that, man. You know, it's when I was just like you, Aaron, taking things apart. It's when I was able to start putting things back together that it got really the aha moment, you know?
Yep.
And Scott, you're so right, man. I mean, I never thought about building a guitar. I've done plenty of upgrades, Floyd Rose, replacing necks, fretwork, stuff like that. But as far as scratch building,
as a player, I didn't even think about, having to do anything beyond tune the damn thing. I didn't know it needed intonation.
Yeah.
Why is it guitars that you're sort of the main focus on, or thing you're really interested in?
Do you know what? I don't know, because I'm a drummer. So it was one of those things, actually, that I had a drum kit. I was happy playing away with the drums, and I just thought, you know what? I've never owned a guitar. I should probably remedy that. So I bought a kit from Gear for Music, which a lot of the UK guys will know, Gear for Music, and it was £65 for the entire kit, and it came through, and it had this blank basswood body and the neck and everything else. And I thought, well, I'm not just going to put it together and paint it. Let's go to town with the chisels. And it turned into the red SG that's kind of come up on my channel a few times. And that was the beginning of of guitar related stuff that I put this together, and there was parts of it that I thought that doesn't look quite right, so I fixed it by getting the chisels out, and making the neck pocket a little bit deeper and things like that, just making it look a little bit more slick. And then I thought, well, now that I've seen actually how they go together, I wonder if I can make one from scratch. And down the rabbit hole we dived.
It is addictive. I think kits, we've mentioned it before, kits are such an easy way into
it's the gateway drug, isn't it?
So a lot of the other things you do on your YouTube channel have woodwork in it. Is that something that you've got a background in then?
Not technically, no. Totally hobby-based, self-taught woodworker from very early 20s. Went through the great big phase of just more power, more machines, rip stuff through and watch your fingers. And then actually watching people like Bennett Crimson and a few other guys, Paul Sellers is a fantastic guy on YouTube, really started falling in love with hand tools, hence all of this lot. And yeah, kind of going into that realm of a bit more detail and precision and really enjoying that. So yeah, the woodworking is actually at the foreground of what I do, whether that's guitars or building a table or whatever. That's what I like about the guitar building stuff. I'm not just going to build a shiny guitar. If you can buy it from a shop, I'm not going to bother building one. So I always like to do something different.
So if you can't beat them, you join them, right? So I got a guitar. I got a K tulip guitar for 100 Rand, which is like 10 quid.
Wow.
And I started learning how to play guitar as well as drums. And then I got a Hondo 2, I think it was. So it was like a Stratocaster copy. And I didn't like the way it looked. So I pulled it apart and I changed the scratch plate and I put something behind it and I changed the standard bridge to a Kahler tremolo and I put a locking nut on it, and it just went from there. And I was like, all I could think about all the time was guitars and building new ones. And I don't like what's available. I want something different. And I was like, always wanted to build my own guitar and just thought it was impossible until I found YouTube, and there was Ben, and he taught me everything I needed to know. And I took all of his knowledge and I built the guitar I always wanted, and it's right there. Do you want to see?
Oh yes, please. Let's get a wider shot for a minute.
Do you remember that?
This is the guitar I always wanted. I even had a picture of me on a beach, having just made it out of like a sandcastle. That's it there. Very, awesome. Very peculiar shape. I'm not sure that it's exactly right. What I do like about it, one of the things, is the design for the 12th fret, which is a glow-in-the-dark, half Cthulhu, half alien tripod, Martian tripod from War of the Worlds. What do you say to a drummer on your doorstep? Thanks for the pizza, here's your money.
I like it.
What do you call a guy that hangs around with talented musicians?
A drummer.
No, it's not good to be a drummer. They are talented musicians. I know what it takes, and they are superb musicians, but they don't get the respect they deserve.
I mean, that worked out well for Eddie Van Halen.
But there was another one as well, another Pantera from Texas.
Ah, was Dimebag a drummer?
Well, Vinny was the guitarist and Dimebag was the drummer, and they changed positions.
I think I remember that. That's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.